the evidence through so that you really feel their presence within your space and within your heart. If you have any questions, let me know. However, don't give me too much information. But if you see that, if you can kind of finish the sentence or finish the story, that's very helpful. And to just kind of keep lifting the energy up, because the more we can work together, the more we can get the presence of spirit. So it's almost like a perfect cocktail, right? So you have an open-hearted sitter like yourself, and then me, and then of course a very excited spirit. I can feel him already, just super excited to be here. So with that, we'll get started. And yes, no, I don't know, or you know what, heck no, you're completely on the wrong, just you can tell me that too.
Okay.
So you know, I was thinking about you this morning as I was getting ready, because doing this on social media is kind of a big deal, because you know, you have the audience of everyone, and I want to do an exceptionally good job, but I want to every time I do a reading. But it's funny because I have a gentleman with me who really makes me feel as though this is going to be the best reading ever. And I have to say, he has such, oh, I got goosebumps. He's got this lovely heart. And I feel as though this is somebody that is very connected to you. It feels almost like spouse or brother. Do you understand this? And
Yeah.
and what's interesting is he's got this warm heart, like a teddy bear, if you will. He
Yes.
makes me feel as though his hugs were the best.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like just scooping up, just his hugs were the best. It's like if I missed anything, it would be his hugs. I get a sense of music with him. I don't know if he was musical or liked music, but there's music playing around him. So I don't know if this is a sign to you somehow that you hear him in music or that you connect to him in
Oh,
music.
yes.
It makes
Yes.
me feel like there's songs that come on or there's music that comes on, and you're like, oh, he's here with me. I know that he's here, and he's giving me this evidence just so that you know that, yeah, we do. Who is to you?
My husband.
Thank you so much for that. Because he is, and you understand him passing. It almost feels as though you know, and I hate to kind of say this because I'm not quite sure, but was there some stuff that he maybe shouldn't have been doing, or was he kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time when he passes? Do you understand this?
No.
Okay, so we must have someone else on that side too that's kind of mixing in with him. Let me feel more into him, because he says that he's got a tremendous amount of gratitude for everything that you've done or everything that you did for him. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Almost like uh so I am getting the suddenness again with him. Was this kind of a sudden thing that came on and just was like out of the blue, and you're like, what the heck? Because I
Yes.
feel like I'm just lambasted, like I'm just
Yeah.
like a gut punch. It's like, what is going
Yeah.
on? And suddenly there's no time to really think about the future. It's like it's taken away from you immediately.
Yes. Immediately. Yes.
And he says that one of the things that you had wondered, or one of the things that you worry about, is whether or not he's okay.
Mm.
And he says, I am so okay. And he talks about how there's no more pain or anxiety or anything
Oh,
surrounded him again. I know that he fought tremendously to be here. Do you understand this? He is the last thing he wanted to do. He said, the last thing I wanted to do was die. Like right now, I didn't exactly want to die. Like I feel as though my life is just taking hold or just taking, and it's like, oh, I'm done. I'm done.
yeah. Which was shocking.
And I have this gentleman that is just showing me he has the most enticing eyes. I don't know if you understand this, but it's almost like that he's making me feel as though you looked into his eyes and it was just immediately, he's my person. Like you just had
Yeah.
a connection. Do you understand this? Because he's really
Yes.
emphasizing like looking at you.
Mhm.
He says that did you just recently have a family get together or a celebration? Because I'm almost feeling like there were people around, and there were conversations about him, or there was he's
Oh,
he's talking about being there. He's talking
Okay.
about, because he's showing me everybody chatting and talking. He also says that have you not released him, or have you not uh done your final closures with him? Do you still have his ashes with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it makes me feel like, no, I'm not anywhere. I'm still with her. Like I'm
Yes.
still there with her. Because I always like to ask about, okay, so what did that look like for you? He's like, I haven't gone anywhere. She hasn't released me. Um, he knows this, and he says, do you move him around?
No, no.
Did you just recently move him around somewhere else? Because he said she did move me. Like I don't know why I'm hearing that, but she did move me. I'm
Mm.
also getting an M sound like a Matthew or a Michael. Do you understand these?
Matthew, do you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Matthew was his middle name, and Michael is his father's name.
Okay, because he's talking about and again, it's funny because your name has an M in it. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me decipher this. Are you talking about her? Are you talking about no, I'm talking about Matthew and Michael. He says that he has a brother as well. Is this right?
No.
Okay, so he's talking about another gentleman really taking his passing very hard that was brother-like. Do you understand this?
Yes.
He says that it's been a very tragic story for a lot of people involved, that they're still very much in mourning about this.
100%.
And his mom is still alive, is this right?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
makes me get emotional because he's like, oh, my mom. Like there's a tremendous amount of love for mom. There's a tremendous amount of she's hurting so deeply from losing her baby.
Yes.
And like he hung the moon and stars for her. Do you understand this? It's like we
Yes.
had a very special connection together. Oh, I'm getting emotional. And these are his feelings working through me. So know that this depth of emotion that I'm feeling is his, of how he would never have wanted to cause you guys any pain or grief, and was always holding you on high. And just it's just a very hard thing to watch you suffer without him. And so that's where these emotions are coming from. It's just love. It's pure love,
Yes.
honestly. That's what these feelings are. And I would tell you that he's also mentioning this is he's showing me, and not to get too intimate here, but he's showing me your room. I believe this is your room. And he's showing me, do you have a pillow with his shirt on it, or do you have like something of his that you hold and sleep with at night? It almost feels like I can actually put my arms around, so it feels like a pillow or something.
Yes. A colleague of mine gave me a pillow that has a picture of the two of us, and it's so zoomed in on both of us. It looks like he's looking into my eyes, and I sleep with
He says, I'm with you.
it.
I'm with you, looking at you, and he's with you. He's showing me this for a reason. Like I tell her, I see her, I'm with her, and I love her too. I miss you too.
Oh,
He makes me feel though, with this evidence coming in of what you're doing, it's almost like he's not left you. He's still very much a part of your space and of your energy. Um, and it's interesting because he's bringing up the dog, and I know that we just saw the dog. He really enjoyed animals, because it makes me feel like, was this his dog to begin with?
no, no. He had a lot to do with picking out this particular dog.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and he loved her, and he wanted this particular type of dog, and he knew that she was like a unicorn, like in her training and everything. That we would, if I wanted a second dog, he's like, we'll never get another dog like her though.
Right. And so this is he's actually, that's what he's probably talking about, right? He also makes me feel as though she's a bit of a protector for you, or a bit of somebody that really has your back, or will really
Mhm.
comforts you, or
Yes.
respects you, or gives you that loving energy. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't actually see her like looking up in the corner, or see her acting funny, because he's making me feel as though he's around her a little bit. Like, so you may keep an eye out for that if you haven't noticed it
Okay.
already. Yes. And so I also have to bring up again, I'm seeing a young man again. So hold on a second.
Mhm.
You don't have children, is this right?
No, we do.
You do have children. Okay. Do you have a little boy?
Yes.
Okay, because I was seeing this little person and I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about here? Maxwell? Uh, and the M's again. He's talking about reading him stories or telling him stories about him. Do you tell him stories at night like about his dad and about, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, your dad would have loved to do this. This is what he liked to do, and this is what he would want for you, and don't be afraid, and these kind of things. Do you understand this?
Yeah, I bring those. Yes, I do talk like that throughout the day.
Yeah, because he says, because he's making me hear what you're telling him.
Hmm.
This little one is pretty young though. Is this right? Like I'm getting pretty young. Like it's 5, 6, 7, like right around here.
He's 9.
Okay, because he doesn't seem very tall to me as, yeah, as I see images. This is what I'm.
Hmm.
Is it just the one then, or do you have a little girl as well?
We do have a daughter.
Okay, because he's talking about the daughter too. She's older, is this right?
Yes.
Because she's kind of coming into her own, he says. She's kind of stretching her boundaries a little bit and kind of pushing buttons a little bit, kind of wanting to spread her wings some. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's that verge of teenageism,
Mhm.
that whole, she's beautiful. He says she's beautiful. She looks like her mom. She's got her mom's heart. Who's playing softball or playing football? Like I'm seeing field. Were you just playing catch with one of them or?
um, we have a baseball player and a soccer player.
Okay, because I'm seeing the bat and the ball.
Yeah.
So he's again more evidence of, yeah, they play sports like he's showing me.
Hmm.
And what's the month of August to you?
His birthday.
Okay, because he's making me feel that the month of August is an important time for your family.
Yeah.
And he has not been gone a long time. Is this right?
No.
Like, I'm feeling like I just walked out the door. Like I'm
Yeah.
just, yeah, I just left a minute ago, and
Yeah.
so everything is so fresh. Like it feels so raw and so fresh.
Yes.
For him too. For him too. Do you have 3 children,
We
Maria?
do.
Okay, because he's holding up 3. He doesn't want me to forget the other one. And this
Yeah.
one's younger, right? This one's the youngest one.
No, no,
Boy who's in his teenage, is he like 16?
that would be our daughter. Our
Oh,
daughter's
okay.
neighbor, and then 2 younger sons.
12 and 8
Yeah,
and 9.
12 and 9.
Okay, because I heard 12.
Hmm.
Okay, and he's which one of these children has the temper? Or which one of them has the temper? Do you understand the temper of like emotions or dealing with emotions? Like, oh, he can
Yeah.
really gets going. I feel like it's the 12-year-old. I'm not sure, but that's the one I'm.
If he's playing video games, it's the 12-year-old. If he's just dealing with life, it's the 9-year-old.
Oh, okay, that's so funny. Okay. They're all very sensitive kids.
Yes.
They're all very much older than they appear, or they
Yes.
have older souls. He says like they have a bigger understanding of life, or
Mhm.
um, what's happening around them. I almost feel like with him bringing up this emotional struggle, I I almost feel as though, and I'm trying to pinpoint which boy, because I feel as though one of them is really struggling with his passing, and really having a difficult time wrapping their mind around it, or wrapping around that they're never going to see him again. Like it's,
Mhm.
um, do you understand this? Like there
Yeah,
had to be like special care for him or special like comfort to him.
I think for I mean, for all of us, but especially the younger two, it hasn't clicked for any of us that this is permanent. We're still waiting for him to walk through the door.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like this has been very difficult adjustment for those two. Your daughter feels like she has a more solid understanding of what's happening and what happened and being there and experiencing it more as an adult than
Yeah.
a little person. She has a bigger awareness.
Mhm.
Who wears the necklace for him?
She does.
Okay, because she's showing me the necklace. You said, well, this is from my dad, or this was from my dad.
Mhm. Yes.
She has a funny sense of humor. Is this right?
Yes.
He says he laughs at her all the time. Like she's a crack up. So full of life is what I heard. It's like she's so full of life. I almost feels like she has a lot of things she wants to do, or a lot of like she has okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do this, and then like she's always very busy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
She's talking about she's just got a lot of stuff going on, or really a lot of plans, keeps herself really busy. She's very
Mhm.
smart too. She's very smart, he says. Um, he says, I don't want her to date, or I don't like her dating. Like there's nobody good enough for her. Like, no, there's no dating.
Yes.
And he's kind of chuckling now about that, which is he also says something about, are you currently looking for another job or looking for other employment somewhere or trying to change? I almost feel like he's like standing behind you and kind of pushing you forward a little bit, like, well, I don't really want to do that. No, don't push me into that. Okay, I'll do it. Like
Yeah.
I almost like he's like always encouraging you to keep going. Like, okay, go back to work, go find your thing, don't stop, just don't
Yeah.
stop living, don't stop being alive, because I'm
Yeah.
right there. And then I feel like, did he have this conversation with you before he passes? Because it almost feels like that. If
No.
you don't mind, Marissa, how did he pass?
He went into cardiac arrest, and it was from the moment it started till the time of death was very fast. And I was with
Okay, this makes so much sense because I'm just seeing such a quick passing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going about my day.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. He does tell me that he didn't feel anything. So
Okay.
it's important for you to know that he wasn't in pain. And I think I said that earlier, but it
Mhm.
like she worries that I'm not okay, or that I wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And do you understand computers?
Yes.
Yeah, computers, like I'm seeing like multiple screens, or like like I'm doing this.
I
He's
have 4 computers in front of me right now.
oh my gosh. Okay, 'cause he's like clicking away on these computers. He's so quick-witted, and he's such a down-to-earth person. Like I feel almost like he and I would have some great conversation. Like he's just a really lovely person to talk to and
Yes.
be with, and so easygoing. He says, I got to marry the woman of my dreams. I got to spend my life with this beautiful woman, and I have these beautiful kids. I couldn't ask for any more. He didn't want to go. I almost feel as though there are conversations when he's on the other side of what? No, 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 no. I have to go back. I have to go back. And like, no, it's your time. You have to come with us. And it's interesting because he's surrendering to this. I have to tell you, there's a gentleman there standing behind him. And he just came up and put his arm on his shoulder. And I want to say this is like a father or grandfather for him. Of I'm with my family. Like I'm seeing like more people kind of gathering around him. And I
Okay.
think that's his way of saying he's not alone. He's not alone. I also just saw a dog run up to his side. So I feel like there was a huge reuniting there
Yeah.
with his family. Your mom prays for this. Not his mom prays for this.
I'm
Like,
sure.
oh,
Yeah.
Dad, please go get my son. Please go get my son. Go get, like, I'm feeling like she's, praying to her ancestors to gather
Mhm.
around and they did. So if you want to let her know that her prayers have been answered, because he's saying, well, my mom, she's down there, she's making sure we're all taken care of. We're, she's like, you better go get my son.
Yes.
And he says that you have a sister.
He had a sister. He has a sister.
And have you been talking with her pretty regularly?
Yes.
Because he says there's I just heard sister, and I hear this chatting, and I almost feel as though she's been a really huge support for you and you for her. Like you've really been able to hold each other up. Were they really close in age?
5 years apart.
Oh, no. Because it almost made me feel like they're so much alike, or they're like twins of some sort. Like they're so close. Do they look a lot alike?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm seeing, I'm like, okay, you guys are a lot alike, like looking the
Yes.
same. And there's some sense of let everything come, let all the emotions come, let everything go through you, but don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to it. Let it come through and pass through. It's almost as if time is standing still.
Yeah.
It's almost like I feel myself walking through your house and just like, oh, my coat is still on the chair, or my shoes are still on by the door, or it's almost like time has stopped.
Yeah.
And he's like, just let it flow. Let it one little bit at little drops, one little bit at a time. He says that you feel bad because you didn't get up to say goodbye, or you weren't able to say goodbye before he left. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Because I almost feel like I just saw a scene with my own husband of, okay, bye, see you after work, bye, like just running behind and not really giving that hug or that time.
Yes.
Says, I've collected all of your hugs. They're right here in my heart. And I get emotional again. He said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's the way it went. I'm sorry that's the way it went for us. He's so incredibly grateful to you for giving him the love of his life and his beautiful kids. He's like, she did so much for us. She's done so much for us. Supporting him and building him up and holding the kids up. I would never have laid this burden on you if I could have helped it. You're so very loved, Marissa, so very loved. He's going to be on your shoulder the rest of your life. It was an honor to bring this message to you today.
Oh, I needed it, and it's him.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this morning, he just read in my vision just immediately. And I'm like, well, hello there. Hi. Okay, let me take a shower. I'll be right with you.
Yes.
He just has such a need and such a loving heart to be with you. And he's at peace.
Good. Okay.
He's at peace. His soul is at peace. And it's so interesting because I do these readings for surviving, widows and or what do you men too. And it's so interesting how with this connection, this love connection that you find on earth that is so powerful. And so it's different when you're born into a family, but and then you create one.
Right.
Like your souls found each other and you created this beautiful life together. It's almost more sacred in a way, right? Because you selected them and they
chose each other.
And it never dies. When that marriage is strong and when that love is true, it just doesn't die. And they are with you until you arrive on the other side with them. you know, they're not leaving you. They're not leaving you. And I've given these readings to surviving mates, and I always think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give another reading. Well, I just saw her last year. Well, that's under, and
Mhm.
it'll be all new information. And I, because
Oh,
I'm thinking, what could be possibly new? And then they
yeah.
want to chat about, oh my gosh, you built a new deck on the backyard, and the kids got new bikes, and so all this fun stuff that just kind of shows you that they are never not by your side.
Mhm.
So I hope in this journey that you're on, my heart goes out to you. I just feel that love from the other side, and know that I hope this helps.
No, yes, I think it will. And I thank you. I
You're,
thank you for the messages
no,
and being
you're so welcome. Yeah, and